Hello everyone, this is a short video about an Airbnb that my friends and I rented in Costa Rica. It was an amazing Airbnb, very beautiful. Here are some pictures of the Airbnb. It was on top of a mountain, very private, very beautiful. We heard howling monkeys in the morning, we heard all kinds of birds. The purpose of the video is to demonstrate how to get to the Airbnb. It is kind of difficult to get to the Airbnb. The Airbnb is called Casa de la Promesa, luxury retreat with pool, located in Potrero, Costa Rica. So here I'm showing that once we get off on the main road, we take a left, we come to this dirt road here. On the left-hand side, there's actually a river that you have to cross. Unfortunately, I was not brave enough to cross that river. Now, the vehicle in front of us is also part of our group. I have a similar rental. My vehicle definitely could not have crossed the river. Now, per the rental agreement, if there was any water damage to the vehicle, I'm responsible for the full price of the vehicle. So that's definitely something I did not want to pay for. So what they ended up doing here is they made kind of like a toll road essentially. Now this toll road does have operating hours. It's open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. That's something that we found out the hard way, and I'll kind of explain later on. But after 7 p.m., you are unable to take this toll road, and you have to drive an extra hour to go around the mountain to avoid the river and avoid having to pay the toll. So, all right, so here you'll see that we're coming up to the gate. There's a worker there, and it is $10 per vehicle. So once we pay the fee, they will open the gate for us and allow us back onto the main road. So essentially, this toll just allows us to avoid the river. Once we get on the main road, it's about 3 miles before we get close to the Airbnb. And that in itself is an adventure because we have to drive up a mountain. And one regret I have is not renting a 4x4. So if anyone is to reserve this Airbnb, I definitely recommend a 4x4. So we're on the main road right now. As I mentioned, it's about 3 miles to get to the Airbnb road. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fast forward a little bit here. All right, so now we're coming up to the main road to get to the Airbnb. This is a gated road. However, the exit of the gate is always open, so you have to go through the exit. And now this road has a lot of potholes. I mean, huge potholes. You literally have to go, like 1 mile per hour so that you don't mess up your vehicle. After a while, you get used to it. Don't be like me where you get there at nighttime and it is really scary because you get to a point where you're driving up a mountain and you're scared that the vehicle might slip if it's not 4x4, and you're scared that you might drive off the cliff. But here you can kind of see the road is not so good. So the GPS tells you to take a left turn here. that's something you don't want to do, because that is like an extreme route, and I did that the first night and I was so scared that the vehicle was not going to make it. So an easier path, and again, the GPS told me to turn left there, but do not turn left there. Continue on straight. There is an easier route. Still hard, still driving up a mountain, but I would say like half the challenge of getting up the mountain. So GPS, again, Google Maps will definitely help you. In Costa Rica, I don't know if you're an Apple user like I am. I don't really, Apple Maps doesn't work there, but you can see a huge pothole there. Had to avoid that. And you'll see that there are some construction work being done, and sometimes the construction workers will put gravel on the road to kind of help out with the potholes, but that's not guaranteed. So I wouldn't assume that they're going to work on the road. I would just be cautious and get yourself that 4x4. Now, not to say that you can't make it up on a two-wheel drive vehicle like I did, but that's something that I didn't want to, that's something that I wouldn't risk again. If I was to go rent this Airbnb again, I definitely would get a 4x4 just to have that peace of mind of, oh, I'm definitely going to get up this mountain. So now we're turning left here. Super dark road, super sketchy. During the day, on both right and left side, it's farm animals, so it's very beautiful during the day, but at night you can't see anything. And the vehicle in front of us is also part of our group, so it's a total of 3 vehicles in my group. And here you'll see, once we turn right at that point, straight ahead, it's just straight uphill, and there's a lot of gravel. You can see the roads are super uneven, so it's kind of difficult to get up this hill. Here's a pretty big pothole. You have to slow down. And again, this is at an incline, so, you know, with gravel, Costa Rica rains a lot, and if you're driving up this on a rainy day, chances of you slipping increase dramatically. So definitely get that 4x4. But we're almost at the top. It gets a little bit more sketchier here in a second. Mostly because it was dark. On the right hand side, so essentially we're driving up a mountain, and on the right hand side is a cliff past these little bushes here to the right. So if for any reason your vehicle slips or you fall off, God forbid, you're going down a hill, you're going down a mountain. So again, you can see roads are not so great, but yeah, you just gotta push through it. I mean, we had no other choice, right? We just got to move forward. Here is super sketch. I mean, when we first got there, I was like, where the heck are we? I was freaking out. I was like, I'm literally driving into the forest. Like, did we take a wrong turn or something? Like, who lives here? Like, who places a house here? But as you can see, we have arrived to our gorgeous Airbnb. Very private, no neighbors, and very spacious, amazing views. You get that Costa Rican vibe. Here during the day, we are coming down the mountain, so now you can kind of see the amazing views of driving down the mountain, leaving the Airbnb. You can see some new gravel there. That's just the construction workers placing gravel there as they come up and down the road. After a couple times of going up and down, you obviously, I mean, I was here for 5 days, so going up and down the mountain, you get used to where the potholes are. You get used to, you know, how to avoid the potholes, essentially. But going down, definitely much easier, but obviously you want to go slow. Pretty big potholes here. And Costa Rica has a lot of potholes. I mean, one of our groups actually got a flat tire because they drove over a pothole, and we had to pull over on the side of the mountain on a rainy day. We had to change a tire. It was pouring. The ground was uneven, but we got it done and we made it home safe. So yeah, driving down this mountain is much easier than going up. Obviously, going up, a lot of gravel, it could be rainy, more chance of slipping, but going down is much easier. You just have to be careful of the potholes. We just passed some horses. Hopefully you guys saw that, but yeah, there's a lot of farm animals, a lot of cows and horses and roosters and chickens and all kinds of animals. Very beautiful. Some potholes we're just trying to avoid here. So as far as that toll road goes, leaving the Airbnb, again, so you pay $10 and it's that $10 is good for 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. day of. So it expires the next day. Every day you have to pay that $10. So even if you want to leave the Airbnb to get to the main road, you have to pay $10. Now there is another way down the mountain to avoid the toll road, but again, that adds 1 hour to your trip. So if you're willing to drive that hour, if you feel that an hour is better than paying $10, then you're more than welcome to do that. My opinion, that $10 was worth that hour drive, especially on vacation. Every minute counts. You want to take advantage of your trip. You know, you pay a lot of money to go to a beautiful place. The last thing I want to do is drive an extra mile just to go around. If I could just pay $10 just to quickly get down the mountain, I personally would rather do that. But it is kind of sad that, you know, they take advantage of the river and force people to pay that $10 fee. You know, it's not our fault that there's a river there, right? I mean, Costa Rica should, you know, fix that river or put a bridge there or something. You'll see here coming up shortly, we're coming up to a bridge. It's easy for them to put a bridge. Why not put a bridge over the river? But they decide to take advantage, and you got to pay that $10 fee. Up next, I'm gonna be showing how one day we actually came down the mountain, leaving the Airbnb, and there was a bunch of cows just roaming around. They kind of blocked the path leaving, so you gotta honk at them to get out of the way, but it was a pretty cool sight to see. So you'll see here that there's a bunch of beautiful cows, and they're kind of blocking the road. They look so happy. I mean, just look at them, free roaming cows. I had to honk at them obviously a little bit just to get out of the way, but that was pretty cool. Up next here, this is the river that I was mentioning this whole time. So the night before, it had rained a lot, and a lot of people ended up having to pay. People that normally did drive over the river, today they chose not to because it had rained the night before. The water level obviously increased, and so this guy, he's driving, noticing that there's a pothole, so he's just moving some gravel around just to make it the ground a little bit more even, flat, so people can get through it. But yeah, they're not doing anything about fixing that river. So this is just a better view of the river. Pura vida, everyone. Have a good day. Thank you for watching.